Hey, what's going on, everybody? Lou Phantom here. And yeah, I got a double feature for you tonight. We're going to be reviewing Insidious, Chapter 3, and Queen of the Damned. Or is it the Queen? I think it's just Queen. I don't think there's a the. I think it's just Queen of the Damned. So let's get right into it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go on a little side tear here for a second. You ever like see like fat people and they wear like really tight clothing? You're like, dude, come on, seriously. That shirt. You're gonna wear that shirt. Come on. We all know you're a little chunky. You just get a bigger shirt. I've become that guy. Like, I love this shirt. My Van Damme shirt. That's Van Damme from Bloodsport right there. I'm getting fat. I'm becoming that guy where if I raise my hands up, the gut kind of, it's horrible. It's fucking horrible. And I was like, I would never become that guy. If I become that guy, I'll just buy another shirt. I'll just get rid of the skinny shirt and wear the heavy shirt. But I can't part this shirt. I love this shirt. Refuse. Absolutely refuse. Alright, so let's get right into it. Sorry, who else am I going to tell that to? Insidious Chapter 3 came out last year. It is a prequel in the Insidious trilogy, I guess you can say. There we go. And yes, this one takes place 5 years, I believe, before the events of Part 1. And basically it concerns this young girl who just lost her mom. And she's wanting to contact her, and she eventually goes to Elise, the psychic played by Lynn Shay in the previous movies, and wants to try contact her. Problem is, when you're trying to contact someone from the dead, anybody that psychic can just show up apparently, and of course she has a demon that kind of attaches itself to her. Now I did like a mini review of this, last year when I watched it. And you know what? I gotta say, better the second time I watched it. Like, it literally, this movie does have some, like, I remember my review last time it wasn't quite as scary, but I'm not gonna lie, I jumped a little bit more this time on a couple parts than because I forgot, I guess, or whatever, but I just kind of like, this movie ain't that scary, and then I'm just kind of like, I'm watching it, I'm not getting away from it, but I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that, and oh shit, forgot about that too, you know what? A solid prequel, if I do say so myself. I will say, if there's, I'll get the flaws out of the way right now. I think some of the acting is a little hit or miss, especially just from the family and friends. Not so much Lynn Shay or, which I know everybody hates, Lee Wendell. I think he does great in this. The main three, Specs, I forget the Mohawk guy's name, and, Lynn, Elise, they all do great, but the family, the daughter ain't too bad, but I just know, like, the dad, there's a certain season that's like, oh god, this is horrible, like, they couldn't get anybody else. There's gotta be, like, some kind of daytime soap opera star who could do this, a little better. The little kid was kind of annoying, but you overlook that. Like, I have never judged a horror movie, I never give acting too much pride, you know what I'm saying, like, some of the best horror films in history has got some bad acting in it, so you let that shit kind of slide. Here, I think the effects look good. I think the scares are there. I like the story. I like I like this other demon too, because this was new. You do see some blast from the past, if you will, which I like that. You see. I don't want to give away too much, but you do see some of the former ghosts or demons or whatever the fuck you want to call them. Music's there. Dude, Joseph Bishop, is that his name? Bishard? I can't remember the dude's name. Anyways, dude does an awesome fucking job when it comes to score. I mean, literally, just creepy as fuck. Yes, this movie's just good. I don't want to go too much into it, because I don't want to give away anything. I will say, I like the fact that Elise, takes center stage here, and I do like the fact that when she goes over to the other world, the further, I dig that whole, especially this one. This is just excellent. It's creepy still. Like, there's just certain parts that just come across fucking creepy. The woman in the rain. It's kind of it's that's one of those things. There's a scene where girl's on the couch just kind of staring. She has that kind of creepy look on her face. I love that. I don't know. Just it's unsettling. It's unnerving, and I like that. And you know what? They just said, they announced, and I mentioned earlier this week that they're doing Insidious Chapter 4, and I'm down. Like, I want more. I really do. I'm a little nervous about, the new guy directing, because this was actually directed by Lee Wendell, who co-wrote, alongside James Wan, the previous two. And I remember thinking, like, because James Wan, I think, is a great director. I mean, everything he's done, can be scary, it's good, whatever the case may be. Whatever genre he's in. And so I probably will never watch his Fast and Furious entry, but his horror / his other genre work, I really dig. Death Sentence was fucking awesome. Yes, it was a Death, Wish update or whatever. Still a damn good movie. Really dug it. And, but I remember thinking back when this one came out, I was like, can Lee Wendell kind of fill those shoes? I think he did an excellent job. I don't think it is a doubt in anybody's mind that this guy don't have a gift as well. And I look forward to what his next project is. But part 4, like I said, it's someone else is directing it completely, so I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to work out. But I will say, I think I would love to see more. And I think no matter where you go in the timeline, as long as I guess you stay above 3, or the 5 years period, from this timeline to this point in the Insidious, timeline forward, I think it works because even if you do, part 4 takes place between 3 and 1. If it's in that time space, you got plenty of stories you can tell. You got these, 3 new Ghostbusters, if you will, kicking ass or whatever, and you can go there. If you go beyond part 2, when Elise is already dead, spoiler alert with City Chapter 2, sorry, but because at the end of that one, she's clearly still with them. She's in ghost form, but she's still with them. I think you can still do a pretty good story there too, because let's face it, a lot of the battle is going to take place in the further. And she'll travel there and she'll, do what she has to do there. So, it works. It fucking works. So, Insidious Chapter 3, do yourself a favor, check it out. Now, I will say, if you're, even if you're burned out right now on supernatural horror, possession and demons and shit like that, because there is a lot. We're on a big cycle. It seems like it's all found footage, zombies, and like ghost possession, whatever movies right now. It's in high gear, and there's just a heavy outpour. And honestly, there's some times whenever like a new one comes out, that I'm just like, fuck, another one, another zombie movie, another ghost movie, fuck. But this one, it didn't fall. I don't know. To me, it's good. It's good. I don't want to make this sound bad. It is predictable. It's not breaking any new ground, but it is continuing a story. And for being a prequel, it's pretty good. So, yeah. Big thumbs up. Check it out. Up next, we got Queen of the Damned. Pseudo-sequel, I guess you could say. Which I personally never read any of the books, so I'm not sure, whatever. But kind of a sequel to Interview with the Vampire. In fact, I guess it is a sequel. But we follow a stat who decides he's tired of just kind of moping in the shadows. He's been sleeping for too long, so he's like, you know what? I'm coming out, and I'm going to fucking tell the world I'm a vampire. And what better way to do it than to become a rock star? So that's what he does. He becomes a rock star and exposes himself as the vampire, which is like his gimmick. And then, of course, he upsets the others or whatever, the other vampires out there. Back in 2002 when this came out, because I'm not gonna lie, I've always been a big fan of Interview with the Vampire. I'm old enough now to be like, it's not really a guilty pleasure. It's a good movie. As a teenager, it was kind of a guilty pleasure because it was like, I don't know, it felt kind of gay to like, I guess I'd say. That's not a gay bashing slur or like that. But, when you're a kid, you're just more like, I like Interview with the Vampire. You're like, what's wrong with you, wuss? Fucking Blade out the ass, motherfucker. That's not badass. They're faggy vampires. And so it's a guilty pleasure, but come to one of my favorite vampire movies. Love it. And I remember 2002, I was like, all right, we're getting a sequel. No One Returned. Fuck. All right, well, let's still go with it. And I remember watching it the first time and just absolutely hating it. Like, just could not get into it whatsoever. So, came on Netflix, and I was like, you know what, this is what I've been wanting to kind of talk about, because I've already did an Interview with the Vampire review, so I was like, you know what, let's do Queen of the Damned. So I watched it, and I'll tell you right now, and honestly, I can see, I feel like this movie feels very rushed. And it wasn't until later when I kind of read up on some of the pre-production or whatever, the story behind how the movie got made, that I was very right, because apparently, like, they had the rights to these sequels for a while, and they just kept pushing it back for whatever reason, and then finally, like, they're coming down to the 0 hour, and I go, shit, we need another fucking Vampire Chronicle, movie, and they went ahead and boom, bumped this out. Now, once again, I've never read the books, but apparently they take the Queen of the Damned is book 3, I think, but they took elements from 2, and then book 3 they just kind of threw it together in this 140-minute movie. Yeah, they're not 140 minutes, sorry, an hour and 40-minute movie, and you can tell, because the Queen of the Damned don't show up till way late. And apparently she had a whole fucking backstory as well that they just kind of gloss over. It just seems like there was potential to be a good movie, and it was just rushed. I will say this time around, it's not as bad as, I'm giving it kind of a slight thumbs up. It's no Interview with the Vampire. If that is not even like a top 10 vampire movie ever. But I don't know, it was less dreadful than last time. That's a shitty review. I'm sorry. I did kind of walk away from one of these, but I'm kind of just running my mouth about it right now. Pluses. Let's go through some pros first. I love the soundtrack, dude. The soundtrack's fucking awesome. And of course the guy, I forget that Stuart Townsend, I think, is the actor who plays Lestat in this one. Which he's no Tom Cruise. Doesn't do a bad job. I mean, but just not Tom Cruise. But anyways, he's when he's singing, it's Jonathan Davis from Korn, his vocals, and I've always a huge Korn fan, so really like that. And I remember somewhat the music, I guess, but it was just such a shit movie when I watched it the first time that I just kind of pushed it all, everything up to the side. So when I watched this, I was like, oh wow, I forgot the music was actually really good in this. So I really dig that aspect of it. The storyline itself isn't bad, but it just seems like there's no logic to it. Alright, so he comes out and he's like, I'm a vampire. Now, granted, maybe there's some people that are like, oh shit, he's a vampire. But no one really, I wouldn't think anybody believes it. You know what I mean? Like, if right now a rock star, blew up, let's just say there's this band comes out of nowhere and this dude's like, oh, by the way, I'm a vampire. You're just like, that's his gimmick. And even if the dude literally is just like, I'm just coming out at night, I won't attend press conferences because, my reflection won't show up and you take a picture. If he went like full tilt boogie with it and just like, I'm a fucking vampire and this is it, you still wouldn't believe him. You'd be like, that's his gimmick. So even when he comes out and is like, I'm a vampire, to all the other vampires out there, here I am, deal with it. It's like, okay, no one believes you. Like, literally. So, the fact that the other vampires retaliate by coming after him was a little ridiculous for me. I was like, really? Like, you're really taking it that seriously? And then B, okay, they're going to retaliate. Like, you break, no matter how, no matter if no one believes you or not, you still don't, that's the cardinal rule, you don't fucking expose yourself as a vampire. They attack him during a concert. Really? Like, you want to keep we're vampires on hush, on the down low, but let's attack him during one of the biggest fucking concerts this guy, because in this world, this band's fucking, Led Zeppelin or whatever. So, like, they throw this monster fucking monster fucking concert in Death Valley. Millions of people there, and the vampires attack him on stage. Because they're trying to, keep quiet that the vampires exist. Really? You could have just waited. You guys could have nailed him, like, at any time. You could have waited until, the show's over, or record sales drop, or whatever. You guys are fucking vampires. You live forever. You're living forever. You can wait this shit out. Nope. We're going to attack him right there, when everybody's there. The main girl wasn't really that likable. I mean, clearly she just wants to be a vampire. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Before Twilight kind of made vampires gay again, I'd be on their team. Seriously, I mean, I'm Christian Slater in the first Interview with the Vampire. I'm like, fucking turn me into a vampire. I'm in. I'm fucking sold. Let's do this. Let's quit talking. Here, So I'm okay with that, but it seems like, I don't know, her journey to like, if she would have just been very like, I want to be a vampire, it would have been okay, but just like, the fact that she puts herself in this weird situations to get to, I don't know. The fact that she belongs to this group, and clearly I just feel like this group, and once again, if this would have been more fleshed out, maybe it would have made more sense, but, you know, she's in this group that like observes the vampires. They don't do anything else but observe. It's like, well, what the fuck is the point of that? Why are you just observing? Do you plan on taking the vampires down at some point? It don't seem like it, and they're outliving you. Like, you know, you keep passing these books down generation after generation, but what's the point? Just so people, you know, I don't know, it makes no sense to me, but she's part of this group, which you would think they would be anti-vampire, maybe. Or if they knew vampires exist, why not try to be like, hey, we're on your side, you know, or we can, you know, strengthen the numbers, let's do this, but I don't know. There's a little bit of light shed on Lestat and his maker. Once again, it's like a scene or two, and it's just like, really? This is all we're, you know. Once again, I mean, I just feel like they would have, you know, done, I mean, because like, from what I understand, the books are actually pretty damn good, and they're all, you know, they're actual stories instead of just shit crammed together, which is this. Yeah, I don't know, like I said, overall, I mean, I'm giving it one of these, but it's far from a good movie. It's okay. It's okay. Queen of the Damned is okay. Honestly, I'm okay if they want to, you know, reboot that series. Because at this point, it don't matter. They're going to reboot everything. Like everything that you hold sacred in your heart, it'll be rebooted. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They're doing this to you right now. So I figured, fuck it. If you're going to reboot it, just reboot it. Let's do it. Let's do an Interview with the Vampire. Let's get this series done right this time. But yeah, so that's Aaliyah. This was her last role, which I don't know what to really say about that. I liked one song she did. I wasn't quite as tore up as some people were when she passed. But yeah, I mean, she does okay as the queen. I like where she's going with it. Like, I like her plan, I guess. Like, she's just like, we're just going to destroy the world. It's like, what happens when you do kill everybody? Like, what happens next? That's her plan. And he's on board until he sees that she's just going to kill everybody. Yeah, and there's a whole... And that's another thing. This movie kind of like just goes off the rails for me toward the end, because it's just like, out of nowhere, there's like a big like vampire council that's going to meet at her house. I'm like, what? And it's just like, they don't introduce anybody, so everybody just kind of randomly shows up. So it's just like all these new vampires that I guess are supposed to be powerful or whatever, but it's like, no, you're not. You're just getting your ass handed to you by the Queen of the Damned. That's who Aaliyah is. She's the Queen of the Damned. Yeah, and I just remember, like, you know, kind of like around for I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I didn't quite get the whole. In fact, I didn't notice till I read on Wikipedia that one woman that owns that house at the end, she's a vampire who's related to the human girl, which I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, it works, I guess, but I don't know. There's a weird connection there. I don't know. But then at the end, the main girl turns into a vampire, or she's turned into a vampire, and she, you know, they kill Leah. Movie goes on. I don't know. It's that. All right. So it's a hard recommendation to really give out there. I'm saying if you're curious about, you know, when we want to see a sequel that does not live up to the original, then check out Queen. That's another thing too. It's a sequel, but it's like between Interview with the Vampire, like the last we see Tom Cruise, like he's in a Ferrari or a convertible or whatever, and he's just like, I'm gonna live life again. Let me tell you my story or whatever, or I'm gonna, you know, give you a choice I never had. And we get that whole thing, but then this is supposed to be a sequel. It's supposed to be like asleep for so I don't know if the books are different in that aspect, but it just seems like here, 94, he was awake and cheerful again, happy, driving on the Golden Gate Bridge with Christian Slater in Scooter. And then we just cut to 2002, and I guess apparently he's been asleep for a long time, and he decided to form a metal band. I don't know, it's a weird transition. So, Insidious Chapter 3, bam, one of these high thumbs up. And Queen of the Damned, I want to talk about it's going a little lower, I guess, but it's hard for me to recommend it, but if you want to check it out, I will say, if anything else, the soundtrack's fucking awesome. In fact, Jonathan Davis was under contract, and I guess I'm not sure how it all works, but like somehow he could appear in the movie, like his voice could appear in the movie singing, but the actual soundtrack they released, he could not appear on that. So what they did was they got a lot of other singers like Marilyn Manson and Chester from Linkin Park, and there's a few other ones. I'm leaving someone out, but they basically the guy from Orgy, and there's a bunch of other metal guys, and they got together to do the and so yeah. If anything else, the soundtrack from this fucking album or this movie fucking is awesome, and the music in it's great and everything. But that's the high point. When your soundtrack's better than your fucking movie. So yeah, guys, that's all I got. Have a great weekend, and guys, I'll catch you Monday. So later.